Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the concept of limiting beliefs. I want to use a couple of examples of limiting beliefs. As you can see, I have a sling on here, and no, I have not hurt myself. This is part of the example. I'll come back to this in a minute. First time, talk about something that happened with my mother. My mother left me with something when I was very young. She said, quote, "You can do anything you want if you put your mind to it." Well, in about 2001 or 2002, my mother, who was living in this condo in a place called Davison, Michigan, had a stroke while she was in the bathroom. She fell, got bruised up pretty bad, but very lucky that she didn't bang her head on the bathtub or something. Had some complications after that. It happened about a day or so before I came into town from when I was living in Italy. We took her to the hospital, and she had some complications, and finally, a couple months later, things settled down. I ended up moving her into an assisted living place called American House, and moving all of her stuff, and with the help of my sister and some other people. And she finally found a doctor there who helped her heal the last thing that was physically a result of this whole incident. But there was one thing that was left unresolved, and that was her ability to write. My mother had trained by the nuns back in the 20s and 30s at a place called St. Rita's in Detroit, where she went to school, her and her sister. My mother had perfect cursive penmanship, absolutely perfect. My sister got that same gene. I did not. I can barely read my own writing. But my mother, perfect penmanship until the stroke. After the stroke, she couldn't write anymore. But my mother was not one to give up, not even say a word about it. Once she settled into American House, this assisted living place, this little, we got her a 2-bedroom apartment. For one bedroom was her sewing room. Very good decision on our part, if I might say so myself. But she sat down every day for about 6 months with a pad of paper and a pencil and practiced writing every single day, a little bit every day, and in 6 months, it all came back. She basically rebuilt the synapses in the brain that had been damaged from the stroke. Think about it that way. But she wouldn't give up. So I always remembered that, because the doctors will give you what we'll call limiting beliefs. No, you just have to live with it, you know. So sometime later, after my mother passed away in 2009, so around 2012, it was Christmas morning. I had been living in New Jersey at the time, and I came back to Michigan to visit my sister and her family, and a blizzard was coming from the west. It was around Chicago, so that's about 3 hours away, drive time. And so I decided to hightail it out and start heading east on Christmas morning. So about 6 o'clock Christmas morning, I'm loading up my car, and I come out of the hotel one time, and I wasn't paying attention, and my foot goes out from underneath me, and boom, I come down on my left hand and snap my arm right here, clean break, just below the elbow. Picked myself up, came back into the hotel, sat down in the lobby, and pondered it for a few minutes. The guy even said, "Do you want me to call an ambulance?" And I said no at first, because I was in total denial. I said, this can't be happening, but it hurt. And this is the second time I've broken something, and you just know it. You just know this isn't a bruise, it's not a sprain, it's a break. And So I finally said, yeah, call the ambulance. So the ambulance comes and gets me, takes me to Pontiac Osteopathic Hospital. They do an x-ray. Yep, you got a break. They put the sling on it. And 9 o'clock Christmas morning, I'm calling my sister going, can you come and pick me up at the hospital? And she did. And so I went back to the hotel and I sat there for 2 days waiting out this blizzard and watching, I think it was like a binge watching, what was that show? Law and Order. Oh, yeah. There's nothing else to do. They gave me pain pills. I took them the first day, Christmas Day. I couldn't stand it. I just cannot stand being drugged like that. And I never took them again. And so 2 days later, I hopped into my car, which was a stick, with a broken left arm in a sling, and I drove back to New Jersey, which is about a 10 or 12 hour drive. I get back to New Jersey, and I go to see this one doctor I had seen once for a checkup, and because I needed a referral to an osteopathic surgeon, and he gave me one, and I found this guy. He's in Westfield, New Jersey, and he actually was from Michigan originally, and a younger guy. So I was in my 50s then. This is in January, and right after my birthday. It would have been right around my birthday. And so he takes a look at the X-rays, takes a look at my arm, says, "You don't even need a splint. Just keep the sling on, and in 5 or 6 weeks you'll be fine." He says, "But here's the big one. Here's the big one." He goes, "Given your age," this is a direct quote, "given your age," and I'm like 54, I think. This is like 12 years ago. 53, 54. He goes, "Given your age, you're going to lose some range of motion in my left arm." And I didn't say a word. And I just went, okay. So I went home. And I just did what I did every morning, which is my exercise routine, my warming my body up, or what I now call oiling the joints. And I just go through and move all the joints from the neck to the shoulders, to the hips, to the knees, to the ankles, and the elbows, and the wrists, and everything. And just oil them up, get them moving every day, because this human body wants to move. So he said, you're going to lose some range of motion. So I'm going to give you an example of what I was doing, suffering with this sling on my arm every day. Okay, so I'm going to set this down so you guys can see me. I'll put it over here. Yep. You guys can see me here. I'm going to step out a little bit. My land is not level anywhere around here, so I got to see if I can find a level spot without blinding you with the setting sun. There we go. All right, so here I am. If you can picture this, here I am with a sling. And some of the exercises were like picking cherries. So if I don't have a sling on, I'm picking cherries. All right, just stretching out the arms, right? And then there's the old punching bag, right? And you go backwards like this. So now I've got to do that with a sling on, like this. So I'm doing like this, and not bending the elbow, all right? Or a punching bag, right? But, so that goes on for 5 or 6 weeks. But here's the key. Every week you go a little bit farther. So you go, just stretch it out just a little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit. And you keep going a little farther, right? Same thing with this, right? You just start moving it, start moving it, start moving it, right? And in 5 or 6 weeks, you build it up. So after that time period, I go back to this guy and we take off the sling, and he goes, okay, hold your arm out. And I go like this, right? See that? No loss. And he looks at me and he says, how'd you do that? And I just smiled. And I told him what I just showed you. I told him about my exercise, just a little bit every day, a little bit every day. What I didn't have the heart to tell him is that I did not accept his limiting belief. But that's what I want to get across here. Do not accept their limiting beliefs, especially in our medical community these days, where they want to program us to be weak and that we need to do all these drugs to survive and all this other crap. You are not weak. You are the co-creator of your reality. Your body listens to your thoughts and your words. Every cell in your body is conscious, and it is listening to what you have to say, and is listening to what you say and how you treat your body. If you treat your body with love, which includes preparing your own food, this is a huge one for me. Preparing your own food is telling your body that you love it. Do you understand? Tell your body that you love it. Tell it by just massaging it. Oh, I just love my arm. Yeah, I know my shoulder hurts. I got my front deltoid, but I still love you. Okay? And I know you're going to last a long time. All right? Show your body some love in your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. And the body will take care of you. And ignore their limiting beliefs. Just, hey, I do not accept your limiting beliefs. All right? And that's how we're going to build a strong and better world. Aho.